Consumer Price Index, February 2022. Transmission of material in this release is embargoed until 8:30 a.m. Eastern. March 10, 2022. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 0.8% in February on a seasonally adjusted basis after rising 0.6% in January, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reported today. Over the last 12 months, the All Items Index increased 7.9% before seasonal adjustment. Increases in the indexes for gasoline, shelter, and food were the largest contributors to the seasonally adjusted all items increase. The gasoline index rose 6.6% in February and accounted for almost a third of the all items monthly increase. Other energy component indexes were mixed. The food index rose 1.0% as the food at home index rose 1.4%. Both were the largest monthly increases since April 2020. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.5% in February following a 0.6% increase the prior month. The shelter index was by far the biggest factor in the increase, with a broad set of indexes also contributing, including those for recreation, household furnishings and operations, motor vehicle insurance, personal care, and airline fares. The All Items Index rose 7.9% for the 12 months ending February. The 12-month increase has been steadily rising and is now the largest since the period ending January 1982. The All Items Less Food and Energy Index rose 6.4%, the largest 12-month change since the period ending August 1982. The Energy Index rose 25.6% over the last year, and the Food Index increased 7.9%, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending July 1981. Chart 1. 1-month percent change in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, seasonally adjusted, February 2021 to February 2022. Chart 2. 12-month percent change in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, not seasonally adjusted, February 2021 to February 2022. Table A. Percent changes in CPI for all urban consumers, CPI-U, U.S. city average. Food. The food index increased 1.0% in February as the food at home index increased 1.4% over the month. All 6 major grocery store food group indexes increased in February. The index for fruits and vegetables had the largest increase, rising 2.3%, its largest monthly increase since March 2010. The index for fresh fruits increased 3.7% over the month, and the index for fresh vegetables rose 1.3%. The index for dairy and related products rose 1.9%, its largest monthly increase since April 2011. The index for non-alcoholic beverages increased 1.6% in February. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs increased 1.2% in February as all of its major component indexes increased. The index for cereals and bakery products rose 1.1% and the index for other food at home increased 0.8% over the month. The Food Away from Home Index rose 0.4% in February after increasing 0.7% in January. The index for full-service meals rose 0.6% and the index for limited service meals increased 0.3%. The Food at Home Index rose 8.6% over the last 12 months, the largest 12-month increase since the period ending April 1981. The index for meats, poultry, fish, and eggs increased 13.0% over the last year as the index for beef rose 16.2%. The other major grocery store food group indexes also rose over the past year, with increases ranging from 5.2%, dairy and related products, to 8.2%, other food at home. The index for food away from home rose 6.8% over the last year, the largest 12-month increase since December 1981. The index for limited service meals rose 8.0% over the last 12 months, and the index for full-service meals rose 7.5%. The index for food at employee sites and schools, in contrast, declined 40.7% over the past 12 months, reflecting widespread free lunch programs. Energy. The energy index rose 3.5% in February following a 0.9% increase in January. The gasoline index rose sharply in February, increasing 6.6% after falling 0.8% in January. Before seasonal adjustment, gasoline prices rose 5.4% in February. The index for natural gas increased in February, rising 1.5% after declining 0.5% in January. In contrast, the electricity index, which rose sharply in January, declined 1.1% in February. The energy index rose 25.6% over the past 12 months, with all major energy component indexes increasing. The index for gasoline rose 38.0% over the last year, and the index for natural gas rose 23.8%. The index for electricity rose 9.0% for the 12 months ending February. All items less food and energy. The index for all items less food and energy rose 0.5% in February. The shelter index increased 0.5% in February and accounted for over 40% of the monthly increase in the all items less food and energy index. The rent index increased 0.6% in February, and the owner's equivalent rent index rose 0.4%. The index for lodging away from home rose 2.2% over the month after declining in January. The recreation index increased 0.7% in February following a 0.9% increase in January. The index for household furnishings and operations also continued to rise, increasing 0.6% in February following larger increases in recent months. The index for motor vehicle insurance rose 1.2% over the month after a 0.9% advance in January. The personal care index increased 1.2% in February, its largest ever monthly increase. The index for airline fares rose 5.2% in February, and the index for apparel increased 0.7%. The medical care index rose 0.2% in February. The index for prescription drugs rose 0.3%, but the indexes for hospital services and for physician services both declined 0.1%. The index for new vehicles increased 0.3% in February after being unchanged the prior month. The index for used cars and trucks, which rose sharply in recent months, declined in February, falling 0.2%, one of the very few indexes to show a decline in February. The index for all items less food and energy rose 6.4% over the past 12 months, with virtually all of its major component indexes rising over the span. The shelter index rose 4.7% over the last 12 months, its largest 12-month increase since May 1991. Several transportation indexes showed large increases over the past year, including used cars and trucks, plus 41.2%, new vehicles, plus 12.4%, and airline fares, plus 12.7%. Not seasonally adjusted CPI measures. The Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 7.9% over the last 12 months to an index level of 283.716, 1982-84 equals 100. For the month, the index increased 0.9% prior to seasonal adjustment. The Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers, CPI-W, increased 8.6% over the last 12 months to an index level of 278.943, 1982-84 equals 100. For the month, the index rose 1.0% prior to seasonal adjustment. The Chained Consumer Price Index for all urban consumers, CPI-U, increased 7.5% over the last 12 months. For the month, the index increased 0.9% on a not seasonally adjusted basis. Please note that the indexes for the past 10 to 12 months are subject to revision. The Consumer Price Index for March 2022 is scheduled to be released on Tuesday, April 12, 2022 at 8:30 a.m. Eastern.